PrintableScience.com presents the 3D printed YouTube Studio Part 3 with a review of the PromptSmart Teleprompter app. In the last video of our 3D printed YouTube Studio series, we printed off a simple smartphone camera stand so you don't have to film your videos in handheld selfie mode. If you want to check out that video and print your own smartphone camera stand, you can follow the link somewhere around here. And I borrowed another cell phone for this video so I can show you how that stand is working out. But now's the time to tackle the next highest priority in our quest for professional looking videos. You know, there are two basic types of creators in the YouTube universe. Those that can ad-lib and speak off the cuff, and those that cannot. In the YouTube niche where Printable Science lives, there's Angus from Maker's Muse, and Chuck Hellebuck from Filament Fridays, and Mehdi from Electroboom. Note, I avoided his last name because I have no idea how to pronounce it. On the other hand, there's Thomas Sandlatter with his channel, and by his own admission, he can't really function without a cue card. Well, count me in with Thomas. If I'm not reading from a script, I ramble and babble and reveal myself as a complete moron pretty quickly. Like the old saying, better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. Now, if you count yourself in with people like Angus and Mehdi and Chuck, you can skip this video because this one is all about making your videos more professional, even if you need to read off what you're saying. But if you need a script like I do, don't despair. Folks like Thomas Sandlatter have a great channel with lots of subscribers and a loyal following. The key to reading a script without making it look like you're reading a script is by using what's known as a teleprompter. The classic teleprompter exploits the physics of a reflected image so that you can project text onto an angled glass that's been placed directly in front of a camera lens and read off what's there while looking directly into the camera. Today's teleprompters use LCD screens and projectors that allow for fast script editing and a few other operational options that improve and increase their utility. A lot of teleprompters tap into the existing functionality of smartphones and tablets so that all that's needed is to add a sheet of glass or one-way mirror and the desired effect is achieved. The main problem with that approach is that you have to have both a phone or tablet and a second camera or phone or tablet so that you can film with one while the other is displaying your text. What a few enterprising app writers have done is to challenge the need for the reflecting glass and provide apps that allow you to use your smartphone and tablet with its built-in camera to display the text on the device at the same time as the camera is shooting video. The drawback to this approach is that because the lens of your smartphone camera is just off to the side of the screen, you're not looking directly at the lens when you're reading your script. It's really only noticeable if you're filming up close to your face, but at further distances, you don't notice much at all. The advantage for the beginning YouTube creator of this approach is that you can use the same smartphone you use for shooting your video to be your teleprompter with no extra effort and only a few dollars for a teleprompter app. In a later video, we will be providing you with STL files that will allow you to make your own bona fide teleprompter, but that will require a second camera, and this series is about getting you up and going as fast as possible with incremental improvements along the way. Now, there are a variety of smartphone teleprompter apps out there, and we've tried just about all of them. The primary deficiency of most of them is that you have to set the scrolling rate of the text in a manual way. And it takes a bit of time to get that right so it's scrolling the text at a comfortable, natural rate. And if you start coughing or screw up, then it takes an annoying amount of effort to restart the prompter and scroll it to where you went off track and get things all set up and filming again. But enough said, let me ditch this printed script, load up my teleprompter app, and be prepared to be amazed at the difference. Here you go, script freedom. I'm now reading from my iPhone while it records this video. Now, as I mentioned, there's a lot of teleprompter programs out there for all types of smartphones, but the one I'm using has an impressive twist. It actually tracks what you're saying and scrolls the script as you are talking, at the speed you are talking. Let me show you what I mean. And for this demonstration, I had to borrow two cell phones. The phone on the left is running a standard teleprompter app, and the one on the right is running PromptSmart. So when I start the apps running, I have to keep up with the scrolling speed with the one on the left. But as you can see, the one running PromptSmart on the right waits to hear what I've said before advancing. And here's a really cool feature. I don't even have to stick to the script. I can go off book when I feel brave, and PromptSmart will simply wait till I start saying something it recognizes before it moves forward. I could talk about the weather or whatever I wanted, and as long as I'm not reading, it should work out fine. So let me return to the script now, and you can see what I mean. At this point, you can see that the program on the left has long since left me, and if I were relying on it at this point, I'd have to stop and reset it and start filming again. After having worked with programs that require you to set a scrolling speed, I can't tell you just how superior this method is. Just recently, in late February of 2018, PromptSmart released a version of their app that will run on an Android phone, which is good news indeed, because up until then, this app only worked with the Apple line of iPhones and iPads. Unfortunately, though, this app isn't cheap. It's $20. But on the other hand, it does what no other app currently does, and what it does is very cool indeed. Now, the app isn't perfect. There's a number of little quirks and features that drive me a bit crazy, but all in all, it's a very impressive and useful program. The program also offers a really handy feature if you have a second device, and that's the ability to remotely control the Teleprompter app with your second device. However, they charge an insane subscription rate of $24 a year for that, which is pretty absurd for a program that costs $20 to begin with. There's a link down below to the PromptSmart site if you want to check it out. Anyway, we can live without remote control, and for $20, and at this point in our 3D printed YouTube studio series, we've got a camera that doesn't jiggle, and now a cool way of both shooting our vid and reading off a prepared script. What's next? Let's face it, the lighting sucks, so we need to do something about that, but that's going to be a two-step process. Our next video in this series is going to be about making very inexpensive equipment stands for lights and cameras and who knows what else. You'll be able to save a bundle of cash with what we've got in store, so I hope you'll subscribe to our channel and click on the notify bell so you know when that next video is released. Thanks for watching, and won't you help by becoming an important part of the Printable Science family and making this channel more valuable and successful. Please leave comments and questions below that will help us to continue to create useful videos and 3D STL files that are printer ready and help you to maximize the power and utility of your 3D printer. Your feedback is very important. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the thumbs up button, and please consider supporting Printable Science on Patreon using the links supplied below. Being a Patreon supporter provides you with lots of extras and additional information, as well as going a long way to defray the cost of making these files and videos. The latest STL files for our 3D printed YouTube studio and a discussion on board on this series are available at the PrintableScience.com website, where all the science that fits, we print.